do you like Castillo? Yeah, tell me about it. He's like, yeah, like my head brewer made it, and you want to go meet him? Bring Chris out. Hey, my name's Chris. I made this with my freaking hands, you know?
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's so personal. That's what I love about working at Alaro.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Dine 16, a Sacramento food podcast where we take you behind the scenes and introduce you to the people making the food at your favorite places. Today, the people making the drinks at some of your favorite places in particular. I'm your host, Max Connor, joined, as always, by my co-host, Neill Little. Neill, how has the patio been with like 14 days of triple digits? My God.
It has been sparse. I will admit that. It's just summertime in Sacramento. It's one of the things I love about here. But, the restaurant scene is a bit more mellow during the summer because I think everyone's out at Lake Tahoe or the lakes or the rivers are out doing fun things and cooking their own food. So I think it's kind of a fun time for us restaurant people to kind of, take a little deep breath and prepare for the fall that is coming because, like you said, it is triple digits out there. It is too damn hot to go out and eat. So, but it's been fun to kind of, take a step back, gain our thoughts, and head into the busy season for restaurants.
Yeah, I got to escape about half the heat wave in a family trip up to Idaho and caught a couple of good-sized trout that we cooked up one night, which was delicious.
Did you catch them at Safeway?
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, right down to the Safeway. Yeah, I will say, if anyone who's listening has trout recipes that they like, I do feel like as I look them up, there's not a lot. I mean, trout is just not a common fish, certainly that you see on restaurants. It's not something you typically buy. And I mean, a real simple preparation of it is delicious. But I go to Idaho almost once a year. I've eaten a lot of trout in kind of the same way. So if you've got any interesting trout recipes, hit us up at Dine16 on Instagram. Let us know because I'd love to prepare it in a new way next time.
Just a little salt, pepper, olive oil, and butter. I don't know. Keep it simple, stupid.
All right. Well, Neill, today was your guest, someone you brought on, someone you've gotten to, works right near you at the Waterboy, someone you've gotten to know by sidling up to the bar after a long shift to have a good crafted cocktail. And you thought, this dude's really fun, really interesting, good to talk to. I think it'd be great on the podcast. And I don't disagree. Who do we have today?
Yeah, so next door to me at the Waterboy, we have Alaro Brewing, and we are bringing on Jayson Nesbitt today, who is their lead bartender. When I first started at Waterboy, I would sometimes get off before Alaro would close, and I would pop over there for a lovely Paloma, or even better, they have soft serve, one of the few places in town that has soft serve. But I got to kind of know Jayson there as coming in, saying hi, and he was just a really good guy. And the more I got talking to him, I just kind of wanted to share his stories. So I invited him on, and he was really excited to come on. So I know we normally do a lot of food, but what is food without a good drink? So having him on it was a very fun opportunity to learn about Tennessee, where he's from, and his journey out to California.
Yeah, this is a great real industry conversation for those of us who are front of house people who love to serve, people like yourself who have stayed in the industry for a long time. And we certainly talk about Alaro's food, we talk about their drinks, but a lot of this is really about what it is to be a person who truly loves the hospitality industry, what that means, and what it's like to be on a team working in these hectic environments. So let's jump into the interview with Jayson Nesbitt of Alaro Brewing Company. All right, well, Jayson Nesbitt, thank you so much for being here on the Dine16.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, pleasure to have you. So first question we always ask for people is, what was food like for you growing up in the home?
Yeah, so I grew up in a very suburban part of Middle Tennessee. My family, we weren't wealthy.
Okay.
Didn't have a lot of money growing up. And my mother was a great cook. Her mother was a great cook, and her mother was an excellent cook, So I always really appreciate a good home-cooked meal. But going out to eat and trying new restaurants, it was always a treat for me.
Yeah.
And, that's not something I really considered and thought about until I was invited to come on to this podcast. But I think that that was something that was really special to me. And really appreciated the experience, and I really appreciated having a good time with my family. And I think that I wanted to... One of my first jobs was a waiter at Cracker Barrel,
Oh,
and I think
nice.
I think we all kind of start like at really humble and meager beginnings in our first serving experience. and it was just something that I really held dear. You know, it was like a treat. You know,
Yeah.
Didn't have a lot of money, so whenever we went out and we went to go eat at a restaurant, it was kind of a big deal for me. You know.
Absolutely.
To the chagrin of my parents, who probably didn't like going out to eat every week because, you know, like I said, we didn't have a lot of money growing up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is a big. We went to Nations for breakfast this morning, and Neill was talking about like this brings me right back to my childhood.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
even that is a big deal. Just going Nations is a breakfast spot here, like a chain breakfast spot where you get. I ordered the 2-egg breakfast, which is $12, and it came with 4 8-inch buttermilk pancakes.
Right.
So it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
maybe if I was a teenager, I'd eat all this, but I'm not. You know, but it's so his mom could take him and his friends there for $30 and feed everybody.
When you're a kid, it's a lot. It's a bigger deal.
It's a
Yeah,
treat.
totally.
It's a treat.
Yeah.
And
Mom's willing to be seen in public with us.
exactly. Yeah. Going out now, like you don't go out to Chili's and you're like, yeah, let's go out to Chili's and get some chicken tenders or whatever. But like when you're a kid, you're like, hell yeah, let's go get some chicken tenders.
Yeah.
We're not going to eat the same spaghetti dinner that I've had for 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
Love my mom's spaghetti though. She's gonna listen to this podcast.
Mine too.
I love your spaghetti.
I saw the asterisk on his face. Real quick, hold on.
Actually, hold on. Yeah.
So
no.
what were some of the things your mom made? What takes you back, and like what were some of the things you remember being made?
She makes awesome chili. I loved her spaghetti. She makes this potato and sausage soup that when I was a kid, I would like section off the potatoes and the sausage and eat them individually. And it was which was just, potatoes and sausage and salt, pepper, really basic. But like that's something that I like really cherished and really valued when I was a kid,
Absolutely.
So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid.
No,
Absolutely.
that sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Working in the industry, you said you started a Cracker Barrel. Like,
yeah.
What was sort of the
Cracker Barrel is kind of a myth to us out here. I've heard of it, but
we had one for like 2 years.
I did kind
and
of skip
failed.
over that. Yeah. Cracker Barrel it's very good Southern cooking, chicken and dumplings, fried chicken steak, lots of pancakes, lots of waffles, no alcohol served at Cracker Barrel. And that's probably why it failed, if we're being honest, because that's something that I think you can only get away with in the South and in Southern states, and have it be as massive of a chain as it is. Their whole thing is that they put a Cracker Barrel right off the interstate. So when people are taking long trips, it's like the first thing you see and you're like, God, I'm hungry. I want some chicken and dumplings.
Yeah.
My mom told me that back in the late 80s or something, Denny's marketing and business plan was to buy off interstates.
Sure.
Yeah.
To buy property when it was cheap and nothing. And now, and I was like, that is a genius move. So I'm sure Cracker Barrel did, or they might have learned from Cracker Barrel when they're there. That's a brilliant move.
Oh, yeah. And like it's mostly breakfast. I
okay.
say mostly breakfast. They're open breakfast to dinner. But
is it not a buffet?
It's not a buffet.
Oh.
No, it's
Shows
made to
my
order.
knowledge.
Yeah. It's definitely breakfast style food,
Okay.
So like you're getting like truck drivers and people coming out of church and like, families who need to feed large swaths of kids in the morning. Definitely like the Wild West of serving, They have this program where like you take a test and get a star on your apron, and it's like, this guy has 5 stars, so he's the best Cracker Barrel server, someone who doesn't have any stars, you're like, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, right? It's very like, clicky in that sense. Yeah, I know, right? It's weird saying that out loud, kind of.
It is, especially if you like are like a frequent Cracker Barrel patron, where you would have that knowledge to just the server walks up and you're like,
I know, bro.
This guy's
More
got
about the
1
menu
star.
than you.
Can you bring the manager over here?
Don't seat me with the 1 star,
Right.
please. I'll take a 5-star.
Walk up to the host station.
You
and
have
like,
that in your hostess notes. Please put in 5-star section.
Yeah.
So, how many stars did you achieve in your time at Cracker Barrel?
Like I said, it was my very first serving job. I needed it because I needed money, like we all do, I'm sure, when we start out. But
gotta pay for gas somehow.
I would be surprised if I got like 2 stars. Like,
okay,
I don't exactly remember. Some people like their Cracker Barrel careers are like their thing, and they have their apron hung up. But like, I don't know. I was like, I need to go out with my friends at night.
Right? Yeah.
Like, I just need to make a few bucks. So
take us kind of through your 20s. Like, at what point did what was sort of the life plan, and did you just sort of work in restaurants? And that was always kind of what you were doing, and you kept making your way up, and you're making decent money, and you never thought about doing anything else, or?
Yeah. Well, so I went to Middle Tennessee State, and I had aspirations of getting into the legal field.
Cool.
And serving was something I did to kind of like make money while I was.
It's a great job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, while I was going to college, and it definitely wasn't something that I saw myself making a career out of. I don't think many of us do. And then I kind of got into it, and I started getting into the bartending scene. I was working at some smaller local restaurants and bars, and really appreciated the connection I got with the community. And I'm like, and you know, I'm still going to class, and I'm still working hard with like trying to maybe get into law school. And towards the end of it, I'm like, man, like got a few jobs working for some lawyers, and I'm like, I don't necessarily know if this is exactly what I want to do. I like the community, and I like gaining the knowledge from making drinks, and I like making drinks, you know. So I kind of started transitioning more into like, I thought to myself, what can I do to make this a little bit more professional? And for people living in Middle Tennessee, if you want to move up, I suppose, or like move into a different echelon, you have to go to Nashville. Like that's just you
Sure.
just got to go to Nashville, you know. So in my mid to late 20s, I want to say, I moved up to Nashville. I got myself a little shoebox apartment, and I had a very good friend of mine working in hospitality in a hotel. She was management, and she got me a job working at a rooftop bar.
Nice.
And that's kind of like after I started doing that, I'm like, pedal to the metal, balls to the wall. Like this is what I want to do. You know, it was like hard and fast for. I mean, that's just Nashville, though.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just kind of a different ball game.
Okay, yeah. So how did the move west happen?
This is a story I've told. Like this is my token I give to my bar guests whenever they're like, why'd you move out to the West Coast? You know, I moved here with a group of about, I want to say it was about 7 other people.
Oh wow.
My best friend, and who I consider my brother, Johnny, and his wife, and all of our friends, all decided that we wanted to kind of move away from Southern culture, and we wanted to kind of move out west where there was maybe a little bit more opportunity for expansion. They're all in the medical field. They're nurses, you know, very natural move for them to do that.
Yeah.
Extremely natural move. And they
financially safe, we should say.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, moving that far isn't easy for anybody.
No.
You know? So they kind of pinned down Sacramento. We wanted to move to an area that wasn't a huge city that's just going to be ridiculously expensive, you know, but also was a good leaping off point. And that's the term of the week, isn't it? Like I've heard people say Sacramento's leaping off point for the whole time I've lived here.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of starting to see that, you know, it's a great introduction to Northern California. We're in Northern California, right?
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's hilarious because I consider Sacramento a great fallback spot.
Really?
Well,
Really?
because, I mean, I grew up in the Bay. I live down in San Diego. I have my best friends in Portland. 2 of my best friends are Portland and Seattle. And so, like, and I've said this before, to me, Sacramento is a JV big city. But we're okay with that. I don't want to be San Francisco or LA or all those places that have those problems. I like our small little community here.
I moved here deliberately for that reason.
Yeah,
because
so I think it's kind of funny that you think it's a leaping off, and I see it as a falling back too.
Right, yeah.
But the
Well, I
same
think
dynamic.
Yeah,
Same
but
dynamic.
also same point, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the beautiful thing is like, there's not that many places in
No.
the world where you can drive. I mean, you're in. I mean, Sacramento's smallish by population, but I mean, it's the 20th media market in the country. It's not that small
Right.
a city, really,
Right.
realistically overall. And then you've got one of the world's, regardless of what you want to, you know, see or read in certain medias, like world-class cities in San Francisco, 85 miles away that you can easily go to for a day trip.
We'll call
or a
that an
quick- or a
iconic
quick
city
night.
one way or the other.
100%.
Yeah.
International city.
Yeah.
With the ocean right there, and then you can turn around the other direction and go, you know, to the snow if you want to go skiing. Go to one of the most beautiful mountain places in the world in Lake Tahoe, and then you've got the redwoods just north of San Francisco. You can go to. You've got rivers here, so it's like I love
Yosemite,
living here
3
because it
hours
has.
north,
Oh, yeah,
south.
yeah.
There's tons to do in Sacramento, and then there's all these just spectacular things to do within 2 or 3 hours.
Right, yeah.
That are all you. I mean, California's weird because it's. Like you said, when you're not from here, you're like, are we in Northern California? You're like, well, we are. We say we are. But if you actually look at the state, it's like, well, you've actually got like
a 6.5-hour drive north to get out of the state. It's
There's
so
not.
big.
There's not. If I love looking at the map of California at night. Outside of the Bay and Sacramento, there's not a lot of other lights. It is all just forest, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, and we've talked about this many times, but like I will still argue that I think we got some of the best food in America. This is the most fertile farmland. Yeah. Yes, seafood, we're out. Whatever, that's fine. But we are on the most fertile farmland in the United States.
Yeah, that's part of the draw.
And it is blocks away from Alaro and Waterboy and Camden and all these other places that like our food is that good.
Yeah.
So Sacramento, what were some of the other in consideration?
Honestly, the majority of the planning for that was like I just wanted to get out of Nashville.
So you were more following the lead.
In a sense, but see the thing is with them is that they kind of did it sooner than I could.
Oh, okay.
Because
let the party go out and test the waters.
Yeah,
you don't want to be on the first wagon train.
Exactly.
It's the Donner Party,
please set the trail for me. Yeah.
We learned from the Oregon Trail here.
Yeah. So a big group of them moved out here first, about 6 months before I did.
So it was beginning of last year?
So it was the beginning of last year.
So beginning of 2024.
Yeah. I stayed. I worked for a little bit because I kind of wanted to save a little bit of money so that I could make the transition a little bit smoother for myself.
That was where my financially safe comment. Nurses can get a job. Bartending, that's a little different gig to nail down out here.
Right, yeah. And I kind of just approached one of my friends who I'm like, I need a roommate. Do you think maybe you want to get out of the South and move out West? And he was like, you know what? Yeah, I do.
Nice.
And he we kind of planned it together, and I sold a bunch of my stuff. I had a little 1-bedroom apartment in downtown Nashville. Sold all my stuff, and I have a little Nissan Altima that I have parked in the parking lot right now. And if I couldn't fit it in my car, I didn't take it.
Neill, there's an interesting thing, a lot of interviews that we've done, and Jayson kind of fits into this category of people who restaurants held this very special place for him as a kid. He didn't get to go out to eat very often, as he said. And when he did, it was a really special occasion. And a special occasion can just be going out with my folks, right? I took my kids to Morning Fork the other day just to like have delicious Sacramento breakfast, right? And I could tell for me, it was really special to sit there with them and have them sort of choose their waffles and be in this funky, super Sacramento-y unique place. And it was special for them as well. And that's what food does. And Jayson exemplifies that also in his attitude and the way he treats people. Treated you and me in this interview, and I'm sure how he treats people at Alaro.
And I think a lot of people think about like nice restaurants like Waterboy for, these nice dinners and whatnot. But I love that you just brought up Morning Fork. It doesn't have to be a nice restaurant. It can just be a little diner or a great little bar next door where you can go get wonderful service, and people like Jayson make it all the more special. You don't have to be at a nice restaurant. You don't have to be at a Mulvaney's or a Camden or a Kitchen. You can go to a little hole in the wall in Sacramento and get a wonderful meal and wonderful service. And I think that's also what makes things special, is that everyone here treats you in the industry like it's a good time. Like we all want you to have a good time when you're here. And Jayson's just another one of those people. Every time I've sat at the bar with Jayson, I've never left in a bad mood. I leave with a smile and a great conversation, and it's very apparent from him.
Yeah, you can tell he's a good bartender just from the first part of this interview. I mean, he's real easy to talk to.
He's kind of too easy to talk to, as it might take you 2 and 3 Palomas. I know this from a fact.
This interview was just us talking about the industry for a lot of it, and it was an hour-and-a-half conversation that we had to edit down to this. This whole podcast is 50 minutes, but our conversation with him is 35, and there is another hour's worth of us. So let's jump back in with Jayson. Now he's moved to California. He loaded up that Nissan Altima, thinking, go west, young man, and find a job in California. That's what he did. And we're going to hear a little bit about what it's been like to be out here on the West Coast.
Fievel goes west.
So tell us about getting a job at Alaro.
Yeah.
So it's the only place you've worked since moving to town.
Yeah. So I had someone I knew who worked there, who worked in the brewery. They recommended me to Ray, and I did cold call Ray, and he answered, and I had a small interview with him on the phone. And apparently that's not something he does very often. So yeah, shout out to Ray for giving me a job without ever meeting me,
Nice.
essentially. And started working at Alaro last July. Haven't looked back.
Bartending the whole time?
Bartending the whole time. Yeah. Still a bit serving here and there, but yeah, bartending.
What do you
Yeah.
love about Alaro in particular compared to some of the other places you've worked?
I've worked for Marriott. I've worked for Hilton companies, very big brands with a lot of like culture and a lot of, well, I say culture, strike that.
Right.
Um,
Corporate culture.
Corporate culture.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's something that's, you're like a marionette, you know? You're acting out the things that the shareholders want. When I go to work for Rand and Net, I go to work for Rand and Net, you
Yeah.
know? And I go to work for the servers that I work with and the chefs that are in the kitchen making little things that they've just crafted that week by hand. And that's like, I love that, you know? I love their little individual like ways of expression. And the fact that it's something that is unique to them. It's
community, right? It's like a real community
Yeah.
serving a community.
Exactly.
Relationships, like we
Yeah,
were talking about.
yeah.
Like they care about each person that
The-
works there and comes
The
in.
owners will come out during service and just kind of like talk to the tables, you know? They're like, hey, do you like La Boheme? Yeah, I love. Or do you like Castillo? Yeah, tell me about it. And like, he's like, yeah, like my head brewer made it. And you want to go meet him? Bring Chris out. Hey, my name's Chris. I made this with my freaking hands, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome. It's so personal. That's what I love about working at Alaro. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I have to admit, like and I might say this for a lot of time, I didn't realize you guys had a full bar there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
no idea. I thought you guys were just beers. I mean, I smell the yeast every Tuesday and all that, but like you guys have a fantastic bar program there. Are you behind that? How does that all work?
Minimally, like it's something again that the owners will like come to the bar staff and they'll be like, hey, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? And I like to kind of sit there and like play with it. And I'm like, you know what? This is kind of working out. Maybe this wouldn't be so good this time of year. Or yeah, this is a banger. Like, let's put this on the menu, you know? Or like I'll come to them and they'll say, hey, like we're looking for X thing this time of year. What do you think? We'll say, hey, yeah, I'm thinking maybe try this pumpkin thing, or, you know, maybe something that's like a spritz. It's more of things that we get to like fine tune for what Alaro needs. And they take our feedback and they listen to us and they'll put things on the menu that, again, we get to make. And what I mentioned earlier about letting the bar staff at the rooftop bar that I worked at kind of craft the cocktail menu, like, is kind of the same thing they're doing. It's like whenever you have influence and whenever you have the ability to mold the thing you're working on and give it to someone, that makes the experience and that makes your ability to sell things and to tell people about what you're making, it makes it so much better. You know?
You're putting equity into the menu.
You're putting
Yeah.
equity into the
Your
menu.
your
Yeah.
name is right there,
That's a good way to phrase
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
which makes me as a server want to do better and buy into it. It's
Yeah.
like, oh no, I know this is a little bit on my shoulders too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which gives the guest a story to better enjoy the drink or the food item, because that's something that's good is something that's good, but something that's good that you have a story behind it and an idea of why it was created and what it took to create it. Even more so, like what it really took to make that, like
Yeah.
how the idea came about, where it was germinated from somewhere else somebody worked and why, and this person they met. Like for me as a guest, like I eat that stuff up, and then when
Oh,
I
yeah.
get it, it's like it feels like I can taste that
Right.
in a drink or in a dish, and that's why we do this podcast, right? Is to like help show some of that behind the scenes, as well as
Sure,
help
sure.
people understand, which I think someone will talk about in a second as well, like just the literal blood, sweat, and tears that goes into working in the restaurant industry, and
Oh, yeah.
how difficult it is, frankly, in a lot of ways, for people
Mhm.
to just be able to show up and just have something slapped down on their plate that they can complain is too expensive, and determine how much they're going to tip based on how good a smile they got or whatever the case is. Like,
exactly.
it's like people are working, a lot of people, not everybody, but it's just a lot of people are working really hard to try to give you an experience. And
Oh,
I think
yeah.
more people appreciate, I think if people understood how many people there are in the industry who like really want it, you talked about learning really the hospitality and learning about giving people an experience and reading people's needs and trying to like how important that was. There's a lot of people who work in this industry who that's like genuinely what they love and what they're trying to do.
Right,
Especially
right.
people like you who stay in it, right? There's all of us at 20, 22, 25 just trying to sort of make money, or we're sort of there. And then there's those of us who, even though I don't work in it anymore. And sometimes I still once a month I'm like, should I like go over to Freeport Bakery and see if I can just like get a job?
It never gets
working?
out of your blood.
Yeah.
I don't want to be corny here by saying this, but I think that the initial draw is obviously the money, right? Like it's a very good way to make money. It's a good way to make money like out the gate. But what keeps you coming back is kind of like the people that you work with. Like I've made some of my best friends working in the service industry. You know, I've met some of the coolest people behind the bar. I think you would be naive to say that you are simply going back there simply to like make a quick buck or two. Like, no, like there's a certain draw and a certain connection you make with people that like you really can't find anywhere else. You know, salesmen like selling, I don't know, cars, they try to replicate that, but like people don't come in and buy a car every day. People come into bars and they say, gosh, man, I had such a bad day at work, or I don't know what to do with my husband and kids, or like I'm going through such a bad breakup. Or they come in and they're celebrating one of the best experiences of their life, and you get to sit there and like either commiserate with them or be a part of it. And like, again, I don't want to be corny, but like that's great. I get to like live with so many people in their lives every single day I go into work.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And then there's the people that come back too. Like you create relationships. Some of my best friendships have come from I've started serving people first, and it's just developed and evolved. Like, I think when you get to bigger cities, I think smaller college towns can have a bit of a misconception of just people serving and throwing plates down. But when you're going to nicer restaurants and whatnot, and like paying a pretty penny, which I understand things are expensive, but like the people there want to be there.
Oh yeah.
Like none of us like I miss going to work. I haven't been to work in a month and a half, and I am absolutely dying. I want to go back.
Yeah.
I miss seeing my regulars. Like I popped by work the other day and I got like ended up being there for like half an hour saying hi to 6 different tables because I hadn't seen them. And it was like they cared about me and I cared about them. And that's one thing that's awesome about the industry and the food and everything. Like I've never had a meal. Like name one time you've eaten something you wanted to eat and then been angry on the back end of it. You don't. Like, even if it's a bowl of like Kraft mac and cheese, I have never been angry after a Kraft bowl of mac and cheese, especially
I've never
with some hot
one
dogs
time
in it.
been angry after a bowl of Kraft mac and cheese.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what food...
I can say that with confidence.
Yeah, that's what food does. Well, sometimes there was some grounding coming after it. I knew that. But,
Yeah, right.
but yeah, like food just creates an atmosphere and an environment to like for happiness and life.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What are some of the things you do at the bar? Like bar seating is definitely more difficult than server seating because, like, as Joe Flacco said, sometimes people go to a bar and just want to be alone and be happy and quiet. So how do you balance that at the bar?
You know, sometimes I kind of appreciate that. Sometimes people come in and they just like it's usually the guy, like I was saying earlier, that's like, look, I just worked, I was digging a hole for 6 hours. I want to sit down, I want to have my beer, and I want to just white noise for a little bit. And like those people I really appreciate because sometimes I get off work and I just want to go to a bar. I want to sit down. I don't want to talk with people. I don't want to think about what I'm going to order. I know I like this one beer at this one bar, and I'm like, just give it to me and let me like zero out for a little bit. Those people are very special and very unique to me. Shout out for the dude at B6 who doesn't want to talk, you know? But like that,
but he always comes back.
But he always comes
There's
back.
a respect there.
And he knows my name and I know his name, you know?
Yep.
And I know what he wants, and I know he doesn't want to talk to me, and that's okay. Like absolutely decompressed, dude. But you know, that being said, I also love my craft. I also love when people come in and sit down and they want to have something uniquely made for them, and they want to talk about what I'm doing, and they sit like right in front of the well and they're watching me like pick up bottles and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm making an old fashioned, you know? I'd like that person just as much, but I get to give that person time and attention because the guy over here at the end of the bar doesn't want it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you learn to read people, which is one of the things one of the themes that comes up in this podcast all the time. And Neill and I, the older we get, the more we're like, young people need to stay working in the restaurant industry because like, don't drive for DoorDash or get a job at the Amazon factory. And here's another story. Like you can move from Tennessee to California and get if you have some experience, like you could, Neill was saying,
call.
Yeah. Right. A friend or two here, a connection, and suddenly you can work at a really cool spot and make decent money and be able to pay your rent and insurance and live in an entirely new place and have an entirely new experience that you can't do. I mean, I guess you can transfer from one Amazon factory to another, but like, who the fuck wants to do that?
Who wants to do that?
But like, I mean, you went from Tennessee to Sacramento. out in the wild and got a job just because of restaurants.
Yeah.
Like it is
like,
truly
truly.
a worldwide job.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There will always be a demand for you. Luckily, I hope robots aren't taking us.
They're not. That I mean, I will say, we will be the last.
I think we'll be the last.
The last of jobs to get taken over. But they've already tried it. It's been tried for the last 20 years. They're like, oh, the robot burger place and the robot coffee. It's like
Right.
people don't actually. It's fun and kitschy to maybe go visit once and after that. But the Amazon factory, 100% will not be.
They've kind of
much
already
a
started
job,
doing it, like the
right?
drones
Yeah.
and shit. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you cannot cook a world class dish. We are 100 years away from a robot making a world class dish or a world class.
Not in my lifetime. That's
Right.
all I care about.
Mhm. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. And I think that also extends to like cocktails too. You know,
Totally.
Like,
Absolutely.
I'd try every canned cocktail that like my friends bring to me, and I'm like, this sucks. You know?
Right.
No, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I'll drink it.
I'll drink
but
it.
it's not good.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I'm gonna drink the Buzzball. Like,
Yeah.
but like it's I can't ask a robot how it's feeling about the relationship it just got into.
Yeah.
Or you really don't want that answer.
Or I
One
don't
of the,
want
why,
that
you
answer.
know, or
You
do we?
shouldn't.
I don't know.
It's already been proven. It's already quickly being proven with chatbots that you probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Probably should. My entire service career has operated on the West Coast, so I've always kind of assumed that the fun personalities and things like that were kind of a West Coast thing, just because that's the only thing I noticed. And it was really fun to talk to Jayson, which, let's be honest, I don't know if Tennessee and California have a lot in common. It was fun to hear that he had the exact same mentality that I do when it comes to serving people. We want them to have a good time, relax, enjoy themselves. And it's just kind of nice to know that mentality exists in all people all over the place. It's not just here. And hearing people come from completely different areas, I'm sure New York has the same people, and Texas, and Minnesota, and Colorado. But it's just fun to hear and nice to hear that kind of mentality exists all over the United States.
Of course, and I think Jayson, we cut a fair amount of the interview of him talking about his life working in Nashville, but Nashville, you mentioned it's like almost Vegas of kind of the South at this point, and he just talked about being forged in the fires of the tourism industry when it comes to hospitality is a whole different world than working at a small brewery restaurant here in Sacramento, California. And I think it's clear he has learned so much about how to serve people, but is also relishing getting to work at a place in a new city, in a new town, and where the people who are coming in are people who are just looking to enjoy that evening. You know, it's not a big bachelor party. It's not some crazy, people aren't traveling to Alaro for their NFL fantasy draft party for the 15th year and getting blasted. They're coming in to enjoy a really good cocktail, a really good beer, some amazing tapas. And you can tell he really relishes that is sort of where he is in his career. And as it is one of the many, at this point, tropes on this show, as it is, you know, the moment we get hungry in the podcast, there's the trope of work in restaurants, young people. This dude got to move from the other side of the country out to a completely different area because he was a restaurant professional and find a job, and he can pay his rent, his insurance, enjoy his life in an entirely new city, meet new people. Man, I mean, it's you become a restaurant professional, it is a ticket to a really interesting life. So work in restaurants. We say it all the time. Work in restaurants.
And as we were just mentioning, AI is not coming for our jobs. This is a very human experience job, and one that can take you, to incredible dishes that you can eat yourself, but also to meet incredible people.
All right, so let's jump back into the interview and hear a little bit more about the food and drink at Alaro specifically and what Jayson loves most about working there.
Give us a couple, now we just sat down at Alaro. Sell us, what's the couple cocktails you're loving on the menu right now? What's the couple dishes that you're like, you guys got to get this?
Ooh, my favorite dishes at Alaro. Okay, so I don't like kale.
Okay.
But we have a bomb chicken and kale salad. Like, it is awesome. Great amount of food, great price. I eat it maybe like 4 times a week.
That's why you're skinnier than I am.
4 times a week. Yeah, love our chicken and kale salad.
Perfect.
We have some awesome cod tacos. You come into Alaro, by the way, ask your server or bartender about their dinner special, because they are typically the things that the chefs have crafted that day with really fresh ingredients and are really unique. So, yeah, absolutely ask what the dinner special is. As far as cocktails go, we have a beautiful grapefruit mezcal cocktail called Smokefall is Beauty.
I love a Paloma. Ooh, that's right up my alley.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Love a good spritz. We got a good green tea spritz that we make with fresh ingredients. Yeah.
So you're 32, you said?
32.
So you've been drinking for 11 years. Like I've kind of.
Oh, geez, I've been drinking for 11 years. Holy shit.
Legally, yeah.
Have I been drinking for 11 years? I think I've been drinking for a little bit
but
longer.
But I know for Max and I, I've definitely seen it go from the beer and a shot scene to the cocktail scene, and now we're kind of going into the mocktails and lack of drinking. Where do you see the industry going, and what do you think the next turn is, or do you have any idea?
Yeah. So it was really that shift from going from cocktails to mocktails was something I had a really veteran bartender that I worked with call out many years ago, and he was sober, so he loved making mocktails, and he was like, yeah, whenever you're making mocktails, you don't really get to rely on the base of the alcohol that your brain already knows it's gonna like, but you don't get to rely on that with a mocktail. You have to be really creative and unique and make something really cool just from fruit and from syrups and fresh herbs, and it has to be different in its own way, and that's really cool. I did not expect that. I also didn't expect the generation behind us to not be drinking as much as they are. They are not.
No,
at all.
I don't know where Gen Alpha is gonna pop up next, but that's kind of shocking.
Yeah,
moving away from things like beer and a shot.
It's almost gone now.
Yeah. I know.
And De Vere's was a whole bar built on it. It's kind of wild to think about.
It is wild to think about. Yeah. I could not. You've taken alcohol out of my cocktails. I don't know where we're gonna go from here.
Yeah, no, I don't know where this goes either.
Stop doing
my
that.
question. I know.
Stop. Give me my alcohol back. Give me my rum back.
Do you think it's going to be cyclical where people do the mocktails and then we might go back into beer and a shot to ease our way? Is this?
Yeah, I'm so I don't know, if I was gonna guess, if things work the way that fashion and style do, I assume that it's on a 20-year cycle, you know?
I have no idea. I'm wearing sweats and a cutoff sweatshirt. Fashion is far from my forte.
but you know what I mean when I say that. The 90s come back, and then
I have an 11-year-old. I can't. Did I tell this story? I was somewhere. We were watching. God, what movie did we watch? Whatever. We watched a movie from 1991, and it had the kid who was in Parenthood in it. And I wish I could remember what movie it was. Anyway, point is, he was wearing a pair of acid washed, super baggy cargo jeans.
Oh yeah.
And my daughter she was wearing those. She's 10. She was 10 at the time. She just turned 11. She was wearing those exact jeans that she had just got at Old Navy a few days before that she loved. And she yelled, she was like, "Oh my gosh, those are my jeans." And I was like, "I know. I told you you're wearing stuff straight from the 90s that I didn't think would come back." She wears baggy cargo jeans. She's
Jinko is back.
Yeah, and Converse and Vans.
You know who I blame?
That's what she rocks as an 11-year-old.
Oh yeah,
I think Stranger Things definitely had a bit of an impact of bringing the bell bottoms and things like that.
Yeah. I thrift all the clothing. Here we are talking about clothing. I thrift all the clothing I wear.
Nice.
So I feel like I pick it up directly from where I left off. Where I just sold all my cargo pants. Y'all telling me that I'm thrifting cargo pants again.
Right.
That's all right, I guess. That's cool. But
sitting here in an immaculate mustard yellow corduroy shirt.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
two
that.
top buttons unbuttoned.
When he came in, I'm like, he our icon is kind of a mustard yellow and black. I'm like, he matches.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I have a super chunky sweater, exactly like cable knit sweater, exactly that color that I almost wore today. I'm glad I didn't, because it would have been a little too matchy. But you were rocking that. That corduroy
I got
shirt.
the memo.
That's right. Yeah.
But as far as circling back to alcohol, if small microbrews and little craft breweries start to really pop off again, I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if the whole IPA thing, I'm kind of glad that's dying off too. But
sure.
Like if I could guess, I would say that maybe beer is on the horizon. We'll see.
All right.
Rapid fire.
All right. What's your favorite cheap guilty pleasure?
My favorite cheap guilty
To eat.
pleasure to eat is Chili's.
Chili's.
Honey chicken crispers.
Hell yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to go more cheap? A brick of ramen. Actually, no, the shoyu ramen that you get, that's like the shoyu black with an egg on top it.
There you go.
Okay.
Nice.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
What is your favorite food, like movie or TV show?
My favorite food.
Or cocktail, I guess. Or
Yeah.
cocktails.
Could be bar movie.
Favorite cocktail movie or TV show.
Or food.
The Bear. Actually, love
Yeah.
The Bear.
Okay.
Yeah. That one.
That didn't give you PTSD watching it and going to work the next day?
It did. It did. Like I felt exhausted after watching the show. But honestly, it's like it shined a really cool light onto people who were working in the field, and
It did.
in a very unique way.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that show for that. So The Bear
Nice.
for sure.
All right.
What's a Sacramento bar or restaurant or small time spot you want to give a little love to? Like where do you like to go off on your time off?
I love Club Raven.
Club
Yes.
Raven.
Yeah. Club Raven. Yeah, it's great.
It's a great little shoebox, skinny little bar.
Honestly, yeah. Love Club Raven. Love Henry's. Love shoot and pull at Henry's. That's over like a block up from Alaro. I'm not quite sure whether the cross intersections are.
21st and O.
21st and O. Yes, indeed. Yeah. They have great industry deals. I don't know if they market that, but they indeed do.
All right.
It's good to know.
And if I want to go somewhere a little bit nicer, I'll go to the Grand.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's right. That's kitty corner to what was Firestone?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the thing you wish you could go back in time and eat of your mom's cooking? Or what's the thing if you go back to visit that you're like,
Make me this.
yeah.
She's going to listen to this. It would be the potato soup with
Yeah.
sausage.
Okay, I had a feeling that was going to come back.
And
Mom, just so you know, his face lit up when talking about it earlier.
That's
so...
right. Yeah.
it's such a simple meal, but like I don't know, it's just so nostalgic for me. Potato soup, sausage, and corn cakes. Y'all do corn cakes here?
Oh, no.
I've heard rumors of corn cakes, but
Yeah.
I've never
Corn cakes.
No,
It's-
Johnny cakes, hoe cakes, are those all the same?
Maybe they're
Okay.
it's basically like cornbread. You like make a big pan of cornbread, but instead of making a big pan of it, you just pour it out like a flapjack,
Okay,
and like
Yes.
you eat it like a pancake.
so it's a flapjack, not a pancake.
It's a yes.
Okay,
Indeed.
just because you said Matt said pancakes earlier and he just said flapjack. Are
Yeah,
those the same
yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
they're
what I
the same.
thought. I was
Yeah,
just clarifying. I like regional.
Regional
Regional
terminology.
names.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, it's like a flapjack. I think is a northeastern term. My dad's from the northeast.
Okay.
So that's probably where I picked that up from. But yes, corn cakes and potato and sausage soup. Next question.
It's a rainy day. That sounds delicious right now.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's all I got.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I just want what's the Paloma Mezcal Lady in the Mist? What did you say? The drink on the menu?
The smoke follows beauty.
Smoke follows beauty.
Yeah.
Lady in the Mist, smoke follows beauty. Tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
It's King Arthur all in there somewhere.
Somewhere, something like that. Yeah.
Well, Jason, this was awesome. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you
I
so
really
much for coming
appreciate you
in.
guys having me on this podcast.
Yeah,
Thank you so
it
much.
was a blast.
Absolutely. All right. I said it at the top of the show. Just a really fun industry conversation, I think this is one that people who have worked, particularly in front of house, are going to love this episode because it just hits on so much of what is at the core of why people stay in this industry. Hopefully it hits for people who are listening to this who haven't worked in the industry to understand, especially like at certain places you go to in town, you're really being served by professionals who want to serve, who want you to have a good time, who want you to be happy, who want to tell you about the food, want to tell you about the beer, want to tell you about the story behind the cocktail, and that they're not just there for a paycheck, and that there's a real camaraderie and a lot of love that goes on in the entire team at a well-run restaurant. That it's something to be sort of enjoyed and marveled, even if you're just there to get a drink. Take advantage of it when you go to these places. Like, talk to the server, the bartender, anyone in the kitchen if you can. Like, enjoy it. People are there for you to have a good time.
This isn't just a paycheck to us. we are here because we love it and we want to do it. And all of us have a passion for this, and we love the recipes and the food that we're working with. And Sacramento just affords us such an opportunity to show how much cool stuff and cool food we have around here. And Jayson just another one of these people that, even though he's not from here, he understands and respects how much cool food Sacramento has and just wants to show it to everyone.
That's why you and I love to do this, man. We love
Yep.
to talk about this industry, and we love to just talk to people. It was so fun to just have Jayson on and talk about what it is to live the life of working in restaurants and what it affords you, and also what the struggles are. It was a really beautiful conversation.
And it's brought him out here, and I don't think he could be happier.
Seems like he's having a great time. All right, well, that does it for this episode of the Dine 16. If you like this episode, please share it with friends, family. Just go to our website, dine16.com. It'll be at the top of the page. Send them that link. That's the easiest way to share it. You can hear us on all your podcast apps otherwise, and YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Dine16. You can also email us questions. You got that trout recipe? Hit me up, Max at dine16.com, or Neill, Neill at dine16.com. Guest ideas, questions for guests, questions for us. Send it there if you like. We're happy to answer. Our opening and closing theme music are by Mark Owens. The Dine 16 is a production of the Hear Me Now studio in Sacramento, California. In a couple weeks, holy cow. Once again, one of the bigger guests we've had. One of the sort of Mount Rushmore faces, I would say, of the Sacramento food scene. One of the godfathers. Can't wait for that. We'll preview that episode in a couple weeks. Look out for it on Instagram. Until then, as always, eat something you love with someone you love.